So, welcome. We have Tronda here. Our readers would like to know more about your business and how you
Ye-
got to where you are now. So, without any further ado, when did you start your business, Tronda, and what year?
Well, I actually opened my first studio in 2013, downtown Louisville.
All right.
Yes.
And please describe your business for our audience.
Well, I'm a licensed massage therapist and I'm a holistic practitioner. And I say that meaning that my approach is holistic. So I support women in my practice, women only.
Mhm.
And I like to support women who have or are experiencing physical or psychological trauma. And how I do that is through healing touch, which is massage, nurturing products, which is my line of products, and holistic practices.
Wonderful. And do you have a location that your clients come to, or do you go to them?
Yes, I have both. So I have a studio in on Springburst Boulevard in Louisville, the East End, and I also travel pretty much anywhere in Louisville. I have several clients that I go to their homes, nursing homes. I have been to hospitals, and so yeah, I travel, and that makes it more comfortable for some clients for me to go to them. So whichever my clients prefer, that's usually how I set it up
Mhm.
according to their preference.
That's wonderful. And right now, is it just you, or do you have some employees as well?
It's just me
Mhm.
at the moment, but hopefully that's one of my goals is to train and mentor new massage therapists in the way that I practice. So that's coming hopefully 2022.
Yes, exactly. And so right now you own 100% of the business, or you have some partners as well?
Yes, it's just me.
Just you.
Just me.
Great. And could you tell us about what made you start this business?
Well, it's kind of unique. I've always liked touch, but I had a whole different career, and I went to massage school in 2008 just out of curiosity for myself. I was working a high-paced job and 24 hours on call, and I really did it for myself, I thought. And about after the first trimester of school, the position that I had was eliminated because of corporate downsizing, and so it just lended itself for me to finish school and start a new career. It happened just like that, kind of organically.
Wow, that sounds that's like a lot of the entrepreneurs have a similar line like that, right?
Right, just fate.
And
That's
have
what
you
I
always
think.
had in you to be of service to others and be an entrepreneur, or is that something that's relatively new?
Well, I have my father was an entrepreneur. I have many entrepreneurs in my family. So after that happened to me, after 12 years of service in a career where I was in corporate America, it just was the right transition. I felt like at that point that I wanted to be the kind of the captain of my ship and kind of steer it myself. And so I don't think it was an aspiration originally, but I know it was the design that was created for me. This definitely is my passion. I really and truly love what I do. I think healing touch is so important, and it's so beneficial on many levels, far beyond what most people may think about massage. It might in their mind be for leisure, but it's so healing, so comforting. And I just think that everybody needs massage. Everybody's not my client because I have a niche market of my ideal client are women, as I said. So, but I really think that everyone can benefit from healing massage.
What made you decide on going so niche and choosing to work with women and women with trauma? What was it that inspired you to do that?
Actually, I had COVID last year, and I had 21 days to sit and really think about what I wanted to do. And knowing the woman, I am a woman, obviously, and So I think that women have a lot of trauma in their life that they may not even really realize. We've all have experienced some sort of trauma along the way, and I just felt like I could better relate to a woman. So it's really that simple. It's nothing,
Yeah, wonderful.
other than that. I know that women definitely, I'm a mother and a grandmother. Sometimes we don't put ourselves first. And so self-care is another aspect of massage that a lot of people really don't realize may be important.
Right. What was the toughest thing you went through when you were opening? What were your early days like, if you could share with us?
Well, I was, you know, every business location, a lot of people say, and the location that I was at, it kind of it really wasn't ideal for what I was doing. It was parking, it was loud noises, ambulance,
Mhm.
all the time. So it wasn't the right location for me. So that was an obstacle. Um, and just being new, I'm a transplant, I'm not from Louisville. So just getting into different aspects of networking with different people was kind of difficult, but I've really learned over the years how to do that. And so I think that networking is very important. As an entrepreneur, you have to know that even though I may be the sole owner of Align Total Wellness, that it's very important to support other businesses and have that camaraderie and that coaching and mentorship of other business owners. That is very important. So just getting involved in the community is also a very important aspect of growing your business.
Absolutely.
So I just had to learn how to do that, being someone outside that didn't grow up in Louisville. So um,
And if you had to start over from day one, what would you do differently?
I probably would have started knowing now what I know. I would have started out the gate only seeing women.
Mm, okay.
Mhm.
And what have been some of your biggest challenges along your entrepreneurial journey? And what lessons have you learned from them?
Um, well, I think again the networking challenge, learning how to navigate that. Also, because I don't have investors or haven't gone out and got any loans, I've done this solely, putting money back into my business. That I think I would have done that the same because I think that's important not to get in a lot of debt. So Align Total Wellness has no debt, but we still have overhead, and I say I've always said that from the beginning because that is part of the plan. But yeah, I think going through those stages of having to really grind and um, sometimes move things around financially and within the household uh, made my start more appreciative. Like I really know what it takes, and it does take, a lot of sacrifice.
Sure. And what has been the toughest part for you in regards to COVID and your business and moving forward? Has your business been impacted by COVID?
We were closed for quite some time last year, just because of the distance. We couldn't social distance. With massage, there's no way to do that. So, and changing how we clean the room, wearing masks. So there was some obvious overhead that had to increase because we had to, protect ourselves and protect our clients. So we had to make those decisions. So the impact of COVID, maybe 6 months out of last year, was kind of difficult, and now getting people back into the routine of coming back to the space, I think is why some of the clients that I do have, I now go to them, which again, I'm happy to do that because it's all about, their their safety, my safety, and their well-being. They're seeing women who have already gone through uh, COVID and experienced all those challenges. depression, anxiety. I don't want to increase that. So if it makes them feel better, I will, I definitely will go to them. No problem.
Wonderful. And what is the number one way right now that you're bringing in new clients?
Word of mouth. Actually, this year already, I've had 7 new clients just in January. So that may not sound like a lot to some people, but in this business, it's huge because I obviously have regular clients, but word of mouth, people who have gone through what the world is somewhat still going through with COVID. They're thinking of different ways to take care of themselves and alternative ways to keep their body strong, their immune system up. And stress is a real big depleter of the immune system. So a lot of people are saying, okay, I need to do things differently, which is great. So I think that may have been something very profound, something very positive about going through what we've gone through so far with this pandemic.
And how has the internet played a role in your business as more and more people are searching online and in terms of seeking out information for products and services?
I recently had my whole website revised because of that, making it more user friendly. Obviously letting people know what it is that I do, because people are looking for those alternatives. People are wanting to increase their self-care. So the internet's played a huge role, of course, all of the social media. I try to do them all. Sometimes because it is just me, that might be a challenge as well. But yeah, social media traffic, people are online. And so I have a website, aligntotalwellness.com. People can go there and book their appointment, and they can, purchase the products. We have an e-commerce part of our website, so they can purchase the products instead of coming in here to purchase them in-house. And so, yeah, the internet plays a huge role. It should play a huge role in anybody's business. That's where everyone is looking.
And if you had to look 6 months to a year or 5 years into the future, where would you like to see your business be?
Well, I would like to have in place, I would like to have a standalone storefront building, a retreat center that had full service for people, classes, training, of course, retail. I envision a wellness bar that serves, anything from teas to smoothies to um, vitamins, just anything that will definitely, be like one-stop shop for people to come for wellness, and collaboration with other practitioners, because there are other modalities that I'm not licensed to do, that I would love to partner with someone who may be a personal trainer, or someone who I do guided meditation myself, but maybe someone else that also does that. So that is definitely the big picture.
And what are you doing right now in your business to help get you to that goal?
I think on a day-to-day basis, just letting people know that I'm here, that Align Total Wellness is here for their self-care needs, healing women through massage, through touch, and just getting the word out, really.
Wow, this has been really incredible, very insightful, and it was really wonderful hearing about the fact that you serve this group of women that are really in need of your services. What are some
Right.
things that you've heard along your career from the women and the people that you've given therapy to that has really surprised you? Things that may have been myths in their mind about massage therapy or how it can help them with trauma, but you were able to give them a different perspective. What are some of those stories you can share with
Well, I
us?
have a couple of clients that have cancer. And my mindset is that the body can be healed of anything. So I don't look at what maybe their diagnosis. I look at them as a vessel, a person who wants to be healed, and that through my hands that can happen. I really do have that faith for every client. And so I've heard people say, "Oh my God, like uh, your hands are so amazing. You're so nurturing. I really feel much better. When can I book my next appointment?" So all people who fall asleep, I guess that might be one of the biggest compliments of a massage therapist. But just the relaxation, I have this method of, saying relax into the into the table and releasing everything that may be negative, or and then renewing when you leave here. That whole process, I believe I want that to happen for every client every time. And sometimes they say that to me, not even really realizing that that is my goal. So I have clients that have ALS or Parkinson's disease, and like I said, depression, anxiety, stress, insomnia, all those traumas or the symptoms of trauma. I know that therapeutic massage can be very beneficial, and I've seen so many people really go from feeling, exhausted to being invigorated when they leave here, which may sound opposite, but um, everybody's trauma is kind of different, and their stage of trauma or the journey to their wellness is different. So, and if it makes me feel good that I can help someone else, I think that's my biggest passion is serving people and seeing people feel fabulous. I don't want to cry, but it really brings me joy when I can see someone else who may be in pain or suffering feel amazing when they leave.
That's beautiful. And you're totally good to cry if that's what you want to do. That's beautiful. I think what you're doing is amazing. If only we can find a way to clone you
Oh my God.
and
Yes,
get
there are people out there. There are people out there. And I really know that it's a passion that was put in me that I've always had, but now I feel like it's the expression of that is happening right before my very eyes, and I can't
yeah.
be any more excited about what's going to happen the rest of this year. I really believe that great things are coming, down the pike this year. I believe it.
Absolutely.
2022.
This is your
Yes,
year.
2020.
Absolutely.
Yes, it's 2022.
Uh, It's a comeback year for small businesses.
Yes,
Absolutely. We are excited
yes.
about that. So, is there anything else that you'd like to share with the audience to leave them with that you feel is important for them to hear?
Just know that if you really feel like something's going on in your body, even though you may have not been diagnosed with something, take care of yourself. Let that sixth sense or that intuition um, lead you to seeing about it, doing something about it. Don't just ignore it. A lot of times we ignore our trauma, but it's really important to deal with what you've gone through or what you're going through. And nobody knows your body
Now,
but you.
uh, so my wife was reading this book called The Body Remembers,
Yes,
and it's about how trauma manifests itself and into a part of our physical body.
absolutely.
And I'm wondering if you can speak to that. And because this, when I first heard it, it was new to me, but it started to make sense. But to some of our audience members that might be listening, this may be a new concept. Could you speak to that a little bit?
Sure. Well, our body has memory. And so sometimes if we don't recognize or don't understand or have blocked some trauma out, let's say a car accident, and you've had some whiplash or whatever, and years go by and you've forgotten about it or really didn't pay attention to what your muscles are telling you, and you go to see a movie and your your head is elevated at a different point, and you're thinking when you leave, like, why is my neck hurting? Well, your neck remembers that trauma, and it's really trying to protect, your skeletal system and the rest of your body. Or, people have emotional releases. For example, I had a new client, and I didn't know much about her, and about 15-20 minutes into the massage, she just started crying. And I let her have her moment, kind of just placing my hand on her shoulder. And um, turns out that a spot that I had touched on her back was she was in an abusive relationship, and it kind of triggered that memory. Just touching her very lightly in that spot brought that back up to her memory, and she released it, and that was great. It was great for her. She had forgotten maybe all about it, or kind of, like I said, dismissed it, but just touching that spot brought it back to her remembrance. And so, like you said, our trauma is like sometimes stuck, and it's very important to get it out. And massage is one way of doing that.
Thank you
And
so
it can
much.
make you sick. I mean, I think that a lot of symptoms that people have caused, some of the other diagnoses to prevail, because that's not trauma is kind of stuck in that area of the body, and they just need to release it and let it go. Let it go.
Beautiful. Thank you so much.
You're so
What an
welcome.
honor it's been to feature you here and for us to have you on our show. Thank you so much for making time and
Thank you for having me.
beautiful work you do.
Thank you.